What's up, closers? Chris Linsell here, senior real estate writer and coach for theclose.com, here to answer your most frequently asked questions about getting started in the real estate business part-time. Now, I'm ready. Are you ready? Come on, let's go. Guys, I've been around the real estate block a number of times. I've been an agent, I've been a team leader, I've been a digital strategist, and yeah, I even worked part-time. And for the close, I talk to people all the time about what it takes to get started in the biz. So I know what it takes to be successful, and I'm going to share it with you. We're not going to go through a lot of chit chat right now. We're going to get right to it. These are my most frequently asked questions that I get as a real estate coach about getting started in real estate part-time. Number one, pretty simple. Is getting a real estate license hard? No, actually, it probably should be a little harder than it actually is, but it's not. To get a real estate license, you have to meet a couple of basic qualifications, like you got to be 18 years old. Certain states will have certain qualifications in terms of whether or not you need like a high school diploma, but generally speaking, all you really need is to pass your pre-license classes. Every state has a set number of hours. They can range anywhere from 40 hours, like in Michigan, all the way up to, I believe, 180 hours in the state of Texas. You need to pass your state licensing exam, and then you need to get hooked up with a brokerage where you can work. Honestly, getting started in the real estate business is really easy. You just need to clear these couple of hurdles, and then you're in. You're a licensed agent. You're on the same playing field as people who have been in the business for 20 years. Now, will you be as successful? That's up to you. But getting started in the business, not hard at all. So here, question 2. Does it take a long time to get a real estate license? Yeah, not really. I mean, what we were just talking about. Honestly, the most time-consuming part of this is your pre-license classes. Those, depending on how much time every day or every week you've got to devote to them, are going to take you a little bit to get through. But if you can do it full-time, like let's say you can take some time off of work at your other job, maybe take the most unfun vacation you've ever had, dedicate yourself to 8 hours a day of doing these classes, most of which you can do online, then you can get through it in like a week or 2 weeks. If you're doing it at night, maybe after a 9-to-5 job or around some other full-time work, it's going to take you a little bit longer. But generally speaking, if you can go full-time on it, you could be licensed in less than a month. Let's see here. Question number 3. Let's see, what do we got here? Do I need a business plan to get started as a part-time real estate agent? So you don't need one, but do you want one? Yeah, definitely. Because if you want to get started as a part-time real estate agent and actually, make money, be successful, you definitely need to do some planning. A lot of people will throw around this term of being a small business owner when you get into real estate. And honestly, it's kind of true. As a real estate agent, you are an independent contractor when it comes to tax status. That means that you are in charge of your expenses, you're in charge of your income. And so if you don't have a business plan, it's easy to let these numbers get away from you. So do you need it to get started? Like, is anybody going to be checking your homework? No. Do you want one? Yeah, 100%, because otherwise it's easy to get going in this business and actually lose money. So get a business plan. Question number 4. What do we got here? Let's see here. What are the best brokerages for part-time agents to work for? So as I mentioned earlier, in order to become a real estate license, a licensed real estate agent, you've got to have a license, obviously. You get that from your state. And you've also got to work for a brokerage. Now, I know this isn't part of the question, but bear with me here. The way that the real estate business works is agents work for brokerages. There are some states where agents actually are called a different name, but for the purposes of this video, bear with me. An agent works for a broker. A broker is kind of like your boss, even though you're still an independent contractor, but this is a person who helps you in your real estate journey. They're there to answer any questions. They can be a mentor for you. They help administer any benefits you might get, like errors and omissions insurance. They may have some some benefits as being a part of an office, like lead generation, or maybe an office, a physical office space you can go to. So an agent has to have a broker that they work for, and brokers run brokerages. These are the names of the businesses you work for. So Coldwell Banker, they're a brokerage. Keller Williams, they're a brokerage. Compass, they are a brokerage. So where are the best places for part-time agents to work? In my opinion, there's a couple of different routes you can go. If you are a really tech-savvy, self-starting, digital-minded person, you might want to consider a virtual brokerage. Brokerages like EXP and Real, these are brokerages that have no physical offices. Seriously, there are no EXP offices in any city in the United States. They maybe have some corporate offices where they do big company business, but if you're looking for a place where you can go and sit down with your buyers or sellers and have a meeting, not going to find it at EXP or at Real. What you are going to find here, though, is a ton of online material to help support your real estate career. A bunch of online training, a bunch of online mentorship. This is great for part-time agents because you can really make your own schedule on this. You don't have to be dependent on other people in an office. That's really helpful for folks, especially if you plan on keeping a 9-to-5 and you might have some unusual or non-traditional business hours. Now, if you want a brick and mortar business, there's a lot to choose from. Keller Williams is a great choice for part-time agents because they have a really great mentorship program. And a lot of agents that start as part-time agents with Keller Williams actually turn in to full-time agents. Another great place that I like is Century 21. Now, Century 21 might not be the best choice for everyone, but they have a really strong branding package, which as a part-time agent, you're going to need to get started, especially if you plan on transitioning into full-time work. So those are the ones that I would check out. Okay, what do we got next here? Oh, this is a good one. How many hours do I have to work in order to be successful as a part-time agent? So the answer to this is, well, it depends. It depends on the amount of success you want to have. How much money do you want to make? Look, real estate is a meritocracy. Those who work the hardest, they are going to be the most successful. So, do you have to put in a ton of hours to be successful? Not necessarily, but you've got to be one of the harder workers. Generally speaking, a part-time agent, if you want to earn anywhere between $20,000 and $30,000 as a part-time agent, you need to be planning on putting in at least 15 to 20 hours a week. Now, this can fluctuate depending on what market you're in, what kind of business you're running, whether or not you're offering a lot of referrals to your agents, or if you're working your own leads, or if you're just doing business for your family and friends. It's also going to depend on the amount of expenses you have. If you're only working with people that already know who you are, you're probably not spending a lot of money on your marketing. But if you're working with all brand new clients, you're going to have to market. You're going to have to spend money to get your name out there. So a lot of those factors will go into place when it comes to how do I be successful. But the bottom line is, if you want to be successful, you are in control of your hours. Here's what I would suggest. In your first 3 months of business, you should be putting in anywhere between 1 to 2 hours, 3 days a week. That's during the normal work week. And then on the weekends, when you're not working, you should be putting in 4 to 5 hours every day. This is a solid part-time job, guys, but with it could come huge benefits and an opportunity for a full-time career. Okay, let's see what we're doing next. Okay, how much money can I make as a part-time agent? This is one I get all the time. The typical part-time agent income in the United States is anywhere between $25,000 and $40,000 a year. Now that sounds like a lot of money, but you have to remember, as a real estate professional, you are responsible for paying your own taxes. You're responsible for all of your own advertising and expenses. And there are going to be other costs associated with this profession that you wouldn't have in other professions. Things like maintaining your licensure, things like continuing education, things like professional development. So that $25,000 to $40,000, it's not all yours to keep. You're going to have to give that away to other places too. But I have certainly spoken to and worked with part-time agents that are making upwards of $50,000 or $75,000 a year because they have dialed in their processes so that the time that they are spending doing real estate is super efficient, and they're not wasting their time doing the sorts of things that they could automate otherwise. For instance, if you're emailing clients, let's just say you're sending property alerts to clients who have indicated they're interested in buying in a certain neighborhood. That's the sort of thing that you can automate using a great CRM or maybe just your MLS. If you're not using those automation options, then you've got to send those emails yourself. All of your time is going to get sucked up in those administrative tasks and not with client tasks. So the time that you spend and the money that you make is really dependent on how well you can optimize your processes. Next, this is a good one. Will I be able to compete with full-time agents? This is a concern for a lot of people looking to get into real estate part-time because you got people who are out here beating the street 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week, and they're doing so really successfully. Even in small markets, the top 5% of realtors are easily clearing $200,000 or $250,000 a year when it comes to their gross commission income. So how are you going to compete with that kind of dedication? Here's what I recommend to part-time agents. Pick a niche. Don't try to be everything to everyone. Pick what you are really good or really passionate about and make that your specialty. For instance, let's say you live in a tourism-based market. I bet you there are a lot of condos in your market. If there's not a real estate agent who's specializing in the purchase and sale of condos, you should do it. As a part-time agent, you've got the flexibility to structure your time how you want. So pick your niche. Market exactly to the people that you want and become an expert there. Even though you can't compete with the broad appeal of some of these full-time mega agents, they can't compete with you in your narrow field of excellence. I mean, those agents are like a sledgehammer. Big, heavy, they're going to smash their competition. But you're like a knife. You're going to cut through in a very specific spot, enter the market, and be successful. Okay, what do we got next? Should I join a real estate team? Now, if you're not familiar with this term, a real estate team is a group of real estate agents or a group of people, they don't all have to be licensed, that are working together with an agent to get more done than a single person could. Teams are really appealing, especially to people early in the industry, because they can get a little bit more done, they have a little bit more exposure, and their costs are a little bit lower, but they end up making a little bit less. So you're risking less, but your reward is a little bit less. Should someone part-time join a team? Honestly, I don't think so. I like the idea of joining a team because you get great mentorship opportunities, but have you ever been a part of a team where somebody doesn't show up to practice half the time? That person doesn't exactly vibe with the rest of the team, especially if everyone else on the team is full-time. So if you've got an opportunity to learn from a team and it makes sense in the context of the amount of time you have to give, then great, a team might be an awesome option for you. But if you don't have a specific opportunity that you know has been extended to you, knowing that you're part-time, if I were you, I would go solo and look for some great mentorship opportunities, maybe in your office, maybe with your broker, maybe with somebody else, a high performer in your office. Learn from them, take them out to lunch, ask them, pick their brain, but a team probably isn't the best move. Okay, let's see what we got next here. What are the tools that I should use to help run my business? Guys, I get this question all the time, and I bet you've asked yourself, what am I going to do when I get into real estate? What am I going to use to be successful? Well, there's a handful of things that you need. The first thing I always tell people, and please take my advice on this, guys, it drives me crazy when people ignore the easiest thing and skip to the hardest thing. The easiest thing that you need right now It's your cell phone. You gotta have a cell phone if you're gonna be in the real estate business. And I know just about everybody has got a cell phone now, but you've got to be working from this phone. A lot of your business life is going to revolve around your mobile device. Text messages, phone calls, social media, staying on top of things via your mobile is definitely important. So if you're not a big mobile user, you got to get so, because you're going to need that. Other tools that I recommend certainly are a CRM, a customer relationship management platform. There are some great options for real estate CRMs. One of my favorites, it's LionDesk. I'll put a link to my review of LionDesk in the description of this video. This is a great platform, especially for part-time agents, because it's really easy to use and it's got a price point that you practically cannot beat in this market. I named LionDesk my favorite real estate CRM, so you should definitely check them out. I'll also put the link in the description to my buyer's guide for all the best real estate CRMs on the market. Definitely check that out. Other than a CRM, other than your cell phone, you're going to want to make sure you've got an email marketing platform. Remember earlier we were talking about automating tasks, so you're not sitting in an office the entire time, not talking to anybody real, just looking at your computer. You don't want that to happen. So if you're going to do email marketing automation, you can do some of that through your CRM, but a platform like MailChimp or Flowdesk or Constant Contact, these are all platforms that you can use to automate a ton of your marketing messages and really create some efficiency in the way that you operate. In fact, I'd be looking in addition to email marketing to anything that you can use to help automate communication and marketing. Talk to postcard companies about setting up automatic sends. Look into what we call passive communication, like companies that allow you to go straight to voicemail instead of cold calling people. These are all things that you can use to help expand the value of your time by automating your communication. That way you can spend your real estate hours actually face-to-face with clients and closing deals. So what do we got? We've got communication efficiency, we've got a CRM, we've got email marketing, we've of course got our mobile phone. I know one other tool that you should certainly be investing in, and you're going to laugh at me when I say this, but a good pair of boots. Now look, if you are working in a major metro and your shoes are not going to see any mud, then maybe this one isn't for you. But for just about all the rest of us, you're going to need a good pair of boots. And here's why. Especially as a part-time agent, you are not going to have access to an admin or to an assistant who is going to go out and do the dirty work, like putting signs in the ground for you. When I was an agent, I would have a good pair of boots sitting in the trunk of my car at all times. That way, if I needed to trounce through the backyard of a property, stomp a sign into place, or walk a client around a home a lot more times than I expected, I'm not ruining my good shoes. I know it sounds like a joke, but trust me, you're going to get so much use out of that good pair of boots. Stick them in the trunk. It's a lifesaver. All right. Man, we've answered 9 frequently asked questions. How about we do one more? Let's do one more. How about, oh, this is a good one, guys. How do I know when it's time to go full time? That's a good feeling. If you're starting to think about going full time in real estate, it means you've found some success. You've gotten the fire lit inside you for part-time real estate. You know what it means to help a community, to work with clients. You've got that thrill of picking up that commission check saying, wow, I could actually do this. So how do you know when it's time to go full time? Well, the first question you have to ask yourself is, how much money do I need to keep the lights on? How much money do I need in order to pay the mortgage, to pay my cell phone bill, to buy groceries, and to actually live a lifestyle that I want? And how far apart are you from that number to the number that you're actually making in real estate right now? If that's a relatively small leap, then it might be time. Your systems are working. You're almost living the lifestyle you want on your real estate money. So it's time. You can take a little extra and apply it towards your real estate business, and all of a sudden, you've got the life that you want. If you're a little far apart on those numbers, then you have to ask yourself, What systems can I put in place in order to generate the efficiency I need so that I can support myself? Is there room in my market for another full-time real estate agent? Maybe you are in an ultra competitive market and it might be hard to compete with somebody, with other agents without having that backup full-time day job. If you are feeling like there's room in your market, that you've got a strategy to get there, and here's the most important part for me. Take a look at your current clients and your current prospects. If you have more prospects than you know what to do with, if you have more leads than you have time to service, if you have clients that you could help better if you had more time, then it might be time to go full-time. If you look at all of those things and you say, yeah, I guess I'm doing okay just like this, then that's probably your answer. The attrition rate in real estate is actually pretty high. Real estate agents don't stay full-time nearly as long as you think they would. Less than 2 years for something like 50% of them. But that's because they don't go into a full-time career with the expectations of success and with the ideas of what it's going to take to get them there. If you start part-time, you're going to learn that stuff. You're going to gain the understanding of what it's going to take to do this full-time, and you're going to be more successful when you make that leap. Guys, that does it. We answered 10 great frequently asked questions. Thanks for watching. I hope some of these questions were ones that you had about getting started in the real estate game, and I hope that I gave you some useful answers. But I do want to hear from you. Did I miss any questions? Was something I said seem totally wonky and you want to argue with me about it? Great. Drop a comment below. I want to talk to you. Ask me anything that you want. I'll answer it in the comments, or maybe I'll just make another video about it. Who knows? You don't know. I don't know. I will ask me some questions. Let's figure it out. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that little notification bell. It's a great way for us to give you a heads up whenever we've got new content that's dropping, and we're going to be putting out some great stuff just about every week, and we want to keep you in the loop. If you want more information about getting started in real estate part-time, I wrote a comprehensive guide all about this over on The Close. Seriously, this thing is like a book. There's just about everything in there. It's going to take you step by step from start to finish, and it's available totally for free over on The Close. I'll put a link in the description. Make sure to check it out. Also, if you haven't chosen a place to do your real estate pre-licensing classes yet, make sure to check out Real Estate Express. I'll put a link down there too. They are one of my absolute favorites when it comes to pre-licensing, and we've even got a coupon code for Real Estate Express. You can see it in the description, but it'll get you 25% off of any classes you choose, which are already pretty reasonable as far as cost goes, so you're going to get in and out on this really cheap. The code is REAgentSuccess25. REAgentSuccess25. Make sure to use it at checkout. You'll get 25% off on me, on The Close. Thanks a lot, guys. Again, so excited to have you here. Don't forget, like, subscribe, notifications. Want to see you back here. Leave me a comment. Tell me what I got right. Tell me what I got wrong. Argue with me. I don't care. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.